celebration. Simcha, Simcha, the celebration of life.
Hi from me, Jared Epstein, and welcome to Simcha, a celebration of life. In today's show, we explore the relationship between biblical brothers Joseph and Benjamin. We visit an educational center for youth at risk, and we learn about time management with Rabbi Avraham Trugman. The patriarch Jacob was blessed to have had 12 sons, but as we know from the Torah or Bible, the story of Jacob and his sons was rife with sadness and deception. Joseph was sold into slavery by his brothers, and it was only when Benjamin was brought to Egypt that his family was reunited. Rabbi Sam Thurgood elaborates on the relationship between Joseph and his younger brother Benjamin.
Joseph and Benjamin, Yosef and Binyamin, were the two sons born to Rachel and Yaakov, to Rachel and Jacob. Yaakov has 12 sons from 4 wives. Half of them, 6, come from his wife Leah, 2 from Bilhah and Zilpah. But these 2 sons, Yosef and Binyamin, come from his most beloved wife Rachel, truly the only wife he ever wanted. And it is these 2 sons that Yaakov treasures above all else. And whilst that does create conflict and troubles, that the other brothers at times resent them, our sages taught this to us as a warning that a person should not show favoritism to his children. Yosef and Binyamin were thus the 2 favorite, most beloved sons of Yaakov as the sons of his beloved wife Rachel. And each of them, in a sense, grew up as an only child. Yosef, born to Rachel, and her firstborn, the one who grew up with her, but he is spirited away, sold by his brothers into slavery. And then Binyamin grows up. Binyamin never knows his mother. His mother dies as she gives birth to him. And so both of these brothers' lives is both born in love and also tainted by tragedy. And yet the 2 brothers have a very special connection. When Joseph is down in Egypt and he sends for his brothers and he has the whole plan around where he accuses them of spies, his plan throughout is to get them to bring their brother Benjamin down to Egypt. Joseph's plan in Egypt is to bring his brother Benjamin back to him so that the 2 of them reunite. And when Joseph eventually reveals his identity, it is clearly the most emotional connection between him and Benjamin. Rabbi David Foreman, in fact, proposes that Yosef's entire plan with the brothers was simply to take Benjamin as his brother, and the 2 of them would live in Egypt for the rest of his life. He didn't know that they could, in fact, reunite as an entire family. Other sages say perhaps Joseph's plan with his brothers was really a test to see if they would resent the love that Yaakov had for Benjamin in the same way that they'd resented the love that Yaakov had had for him, or if they were able to accept that and move on, which indeed they were. The Torah tells us that Benjamin has 10 sons, and our sages teach that each of those sons were named after his brother Yosef. Each one encapsulates part of the missing nature of Yosef in his life. My brother's disappeared, my brother was stolen, my brother is missing. All of his 10 sons in some way allude to the fact that his beloved older brother Yosef is gone from him. And that gives another level of poignancy to the story when we see that in fact they do come together and live the rest of their lives together. And even though the 2 tribes, they eventually become their own peoples, Yosef and Benjamin, are very different in many ways, at the same time, our sages view them always as the Bnei Rachel, the sons of Rachel, and view them as having a close connection and a close relationship. And that's why when we think about the Jewish people that survived in exile, out of the 12 tribes of Israel, although individuals survived from all tribes, the tribes that really survived to a large measure were the tribes of Yehudah, of Judah, and the tribes of Binyamin. Our sages see that as well as being almost like the tribe of Yosef, because Binyamin and Yosef are in that sense interchangeable. And so you have Yehudah, Judah, from the children of Leah, and Binyamin from the children of Rachel, those 2 continuing to live and exist together as the continuation of the Jewish people. But Yosef and Binyamin again is seen as one of the examples that goes against the general thrust of the biblical trend. Rabbi Jonathan Sachs points out that the primary conflict in the Torah is a conflict between brothers, and that we see between Joseph and all of his brothers. However, between Joseph and Benjamin, there is nothing but love, compassion, friendship, and support. It's a relationship in which there are no major fireworks, nothing particularly momentous is achieved by the two of them together. And yet it's a relationship of deep love and compassion and longing for one another, a longing that goes throughout all the years and through the decades, through loss and tragedy, and a longing that is sustained by their connection to one another and their fraternal love.
Established in the early 1980s with the aid of WITSO, Ironi Carrera is an educational framework for at-risk teens aged between 14 and 19 who have dropped out of every other educational framework. The student body is a real mix of Israeli society from different nationalities and religions, all who have learning disabilities. In many instances, these teenagers come from families who are not able to provide the emotional or the physical support that they need.
I was in the women's training department. It was about 40 years ago. And we had the mother care center next to us that was really looked after by WITSO South Africa. And the girls there that came were every morning coming from a different place. They were the lowest of the low. So now how could we help them? We took them together and we educated them, we cuddled them, we gave them that they should have a bus ticket to come every morning. And we started helping them. So I went to the municipality and said, this is not a place for them. Because whenever they are out, so the fellows that are there are looking for them. And they gave us this place.
וכשאנחנו אומרים סיכון, אנחנו מתכוונים לילדים שעלולים לנשור ממערכת החינוך. יש חוק חינוך חובה בישראל. כל ילד מגיל 3 עד גיל 18 חייב להיות בתוך מסגרת לימודים. אם הוא נושר, זאת באחריות משרד החינוך, לשבץ אותו חזרה בתוך מסגרת לימודים.
The minute you step inside of Mazet 34, you should carry a different approach for education and throughout education to cooking as well. The kitchen is a therapeutic space. And the goal is not to create the most delicious dish on earth. The goal is to look to the kids on the same eye level and try to figure out what's in between them and success for that given moment, for that given day, for that given week, for that given month, and for a lifetime as well. So it requires some special skills to be in that space, to teach culinary and cooking, and to do the therapeutic job at the same time.
When you come here to Ironi Carrera or to Yachpat, you see the children, you see the doing, you see how children that always were told, you are nothing, you will never be anything, you are a bum. Here we tell them, we straighten their backbone. We tell them that they are worth, that there isn't such a thing that you are nothing. We give them not just hope, we believe in them. And I believe that if one person believes in one child, he doesn't need more than one. So he will be something. I think that education that we give is a passport for life. And this is what we are succeeding in.
We teach them how to dream, to be different of their own way of life they are using. We teach them that everything is possible. We teach them that they can do things, and we have nearly 99.99% of success. We never said to them they are missing something or lose. We all the time thinking away, far for them, and we give them this feeling.
אבל באופן עקרוני, כל ילד שמגיע לכאן, אין פה תנאי קבלה. לא משנה מה היו הציונים הקודמים שלו, לא משנה מה הציון בהתנהגות. כל ילד מגיע לכאן דף ריק, ואנחנו עושים הכל כדי שהוא יצליח בסוף הדרך.
Part of my job is running Kukiyot. Kukiyot is it's more than a decade, one of the leading social businesses in the department. We sold cookies for around $1 million shekel in 2017. All this money being created by cookies that kids roll. I am the manager of the venture, but I'm doing nothing. They take care of all the aspects in the social business in Kukiyot. The adults are just supervising.
The success is that you see how they become chefs. They get straight away work, and they are so proud about what they are doing. It's life-saving. It's life-saving.
Our strength is the people who work here, our human treasure or human resource, as you call it. We know all the kids by name. We know the name of the brothers. We know the address. We see the parents more than 10 times a year. The kids feel here free to express themselves, even in a bad way, because they know that we give them the space to do that. But as long as they feel secure in this place and they walk through the gate every morning, they feel they arrive to like a resort, that they can express themselves, that they can speak with professional teachers, psychologists, social workers about the status. And the special people that work here develop an ability to take the youngster and to bring him to the highest peaks possible.
אחרי שעזבתי את בית ספר, אני לא כל כך רציתי להמשיך ללמוד. ואז שמעתי על המקום הזה, דרך חברה שלי. אז החלטתי שאני אשלים פה 10 שנות לימוד, כדי שקצינת ביקור סדיר לא תציק לי וזה.
עד שהגיע אליי מדריך נוער, מטעם קידום נוער, שאמר לי, תשמע, אתה צריך להמשיך ללמוד, אתה בכל זאת, עוד לא בן 16 אפילו. אמרתי לו, אוקיי, יש לך הצעות? אני במסגרת רגילה לא יכול לחיות, אני רוצה אקסטרני, אבל אין לי מימון לזה. אמר לי, תשמע, יש פרויקט אקסטרני, והוא לא עולה כסף, זה לנוער בסיכון. שאלתי אותו, מה הקאץ'? כאילו, אתה יודע, גם אקסטרני, גם בחינם, איפה העניין פה? אין קאץ', העניין הוא שאתה צריך לקחת אחריות על עצמך, כי אף אחד לא יגיד לך מה לעשות, אף אחד לא יגיד לך בוא לשיעור עכשיו שאנחנו ניתן לך כזה וכזה עונש.
אני בחיים לא חשבתי שאני אצליח לעשות תעודת בגרות. אני הייתי בטוחה שאחרי שאני אעשה 10 שנות לימוד, אז אני אעזוב, לא אראה יותר מחברות בחיים שלי.
הלך מאוד יפה, אמרתי, וואו, כאילו באמת מסגרת מושלמת בשבילי, כי מסתכלים עליך בעיניים. שים לך בתור בן אדם שרוצים שיגיע לאן שהוא צריך להגיע ויכול להגיע. אני עושה את הבגרויות שלי, בגרות מלאה, מרחיב גם מתמטיקה, גם ספרות וגם אנגלית.
סיימתי הכל, ונשאר לי רק לעשות מתמטיקה, ספרות 3 יחידות ועוד יחידה אחת בהיסטוריה, שאני מסיימת את זה עד סוף החודש, וסיימתי הכל.
We asked 80 of our graduates, what was the most significant things about being here? And they say something that still trembling in my body. They say that we were the only one who looked on the same eye level. We didn't came here to tell them what to do next. We didn't speak with them roughly about their past. Not that it's not interesting what they did in the past, because every one of us is built from past, present, and the future. But the very special way that communication, treatment, education is happening here, giving the kids a very, very, very special an oasis for them, because outside in the neighborhood or in the family or in another parallel educational frames that they are members of, apparently it's not that easy for them.
את כל המטרה שלנו כאן בבית הספר היא באמת לאפשר לילדים לצמוח, לחזור להאמין בעצמם, לבנות להם שוב את תחושת המסוגלות, וכשהם מסיימים פה הם יוכלו לחיות חיים נורמטיביים כמו כל האזרחים וכמו כל הילדים. אנחנו מאחלים להם ואנחנו גם עוזרים להם להתגייס לצבא. מלווים אותם גם במהלך הצבא, יש להם תמיד קשר איתנו. גם כשהם מסיימים צבא, הם יכולים תמיד לבוא ולהתייעץ, ואנחנו עוזרים להם במציאת מקום עבודה. כי אנחנו באמת רוצים שהם יהיו אזרחים מועילים בחברה, ולא מהצד השני.
You can't cut the past. There is no present and there is no future. It has to be a flow. You know, they say that the past is a history. The future is a mystery. And the present is now. That's why it's called the present.
Some people count the moments, others make their moments count. This popular saying expresses the purpose of Rabbi Avraham Trugman's book, Becoming a Master of Time. Since there's hardly anything in life as mysterious, fleeting, and fragile as time itself, how can we hope to master time as the title of this book suggests? Well, fasten your seatbelts. We're going into Rabbi Trugman's time machine to find out.
To understand what we'll call the history of time, we have to go back literally to the beginning. The first word in the Torah is Bereshit, in the beginning. This sounds quite normal, but for much of history, the Greek view of creation was that the universe always existed. It always existed and it will always exist. So there is no, in a sense, beginning of time. Judaism has always posited that God created the world and there is a beginning. Interestingly, the theory of the Big Bang is actually not called a theory anymore. It's called the standard model of the universe. And that posits there was a beginning. There was a beginning. Even 75 years ago, most scientists believed in the eternal universe. So one of the great commentaries, the Ramban, asks, well, what was created in the beginning? And he said, space and time. So time has a beginning. And throughout Judaism, time is an incredibly important part of a Jewish lifestyle, part of our rituals, and part of our world view, because one of the things that almost every Jew gets, we'll call it with their mother's milk, is this idea of the need to have a purpose in life, the desire to make a difference in the world, to leave a mark, to make the world a better place. And to do that, we have to know how to use time. There's an expression, if you want to get something done, go to a busy person. Now that statement, in a sense, is counterintuitive, because I would think, if you want to get something done, go to someone who has lots of time in their hands and they'll have time to do it. But that's not how it works. To be successful, to be a doer, to be a mover and a shaker, one has to have the ability how to manage their time, how to get the most out of time. When talking about time or any subject, we always have to look at what the Torah says about it. So what's very interesting about time is that when we were getting ready to leave Egypt, God came and revealed that the month of Nisan would be the first of the months of the year. And this is considered the first mitzvah, first commandment given to the entire Jewish people. So many people ask, why is this the first mitzvah given to the Jewish people? And the answer is a very simple but very profound answer, that to go from a state of slavery to a state of freedom entails being a master of time. In what way? A slave is not an owner of his own time. In many cases, not even his own body, but certainly not his own time. He does and he acts according to how he's commanded. He has no mastery over what he does with time. To be free means to have that option of using time as we choose. So that was the first mitzvah given to the Jewish people, is the ability to use time. And we see this throughout Jewish ritual, Jewish law. I'll just give a few examples. We have a mitzvah, a commandment, to circumcise our sons. But we're told it's on the 8th day. Not any day, but on the 8th day. We're told that when Shabbat comes in, we can do our ordinary work, and then when Shabbat comes in, we refrain from a whole list of proactive actions in order to create the ambience of Shabbat. But Shabbat comes at an exact minute when the sun sets. So that means 30 seconds before the sun sets, we're not in Shabbat. And 30 seconds after the sun sets, we're in Shabbat. Meaning it's precise, it's exact. So if we ask, why is time so important in Jewish law and ritual? It goes back to that first mitzvah. The first mitzvah that we received as a people is to be aware of time. And to be a successful person, an accomplished person, we have to know how to use time correctly. So the fact that the first mitzvah given to us has to do with time, it sets the tone for everything in Judaism, not just ritualistically or Jewish law, but a worldview. A worldview that sees that if I want to make the world a better place, then I better learn how to manage my time in order to do that. And here we're getting to the essence of what it means to be a master of time.
Well, that's it for this week's episode of Simcha. Let me know on Facebook what you enjoyed most about this week's show. From me, Jared Epstein, and the Simcha team, we wish you a week of learning and success.